Hello, champions, and welcome to another episode of Change the Family, Change the World podcast with your host, Quinea, author Q Futrell. I am excited yet again for another week's part two, technically, of our Why My Mom series as we just talk about the whole motherhood aspect, what that looks like, and how sometimes it looks a little different in everybody's families. While everybody else may be celebrating, there's many of us who may not be. A lot of people do struggle around this time of year. And so the purpose of the podcast for this month is certainly going to be around helping those who do have relationships with their mothers that may not all the way be, something where you want to buy a teddy bear or a card, or where you want to brag with this long post on Facebook, right? Not everybody has that experience. And so although you all may love to highlight the deadbeat dads out there, we're going to touch a little bit about those moms who we ain't going to call them deadbeat, kind of though, a little bit. But the moms that we love that just we struggled with, and we did have some trauma with them. And so I have two amazing experts who are going to talk to you guys and share their stories, and how, if you do struggle in this area or you know someone who do, make sure that you share this with them so that they can get the resources that are available to them. Before we jump into it, you know what I'm going to tell you. You need to make sure you grab something to write with. Make sure you grab some paper, a pen, iPad. Just go to the note section in your phone, because I need you to make sure that you are taking notes. They are going to say some things that you're going to want to remember. And you might not be able to pull back up the YouTube clip or the podcast app, but you'll take action if you have it written down. If you have something typed where you can type in the resource or the name of a book or the name of a song that they may share, you want to go back to those things. So only taking notes will help you take action. So without further ado, I have none other than the amazing authors of Why My Mom, and one is actually a two-time author, and hopefully three really soon. But nevertheless, we have authors Ashley Carpenter and Amira Bethea. I'm always ready to
Hey
say it a different
everybody.
way. Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Good.
Good. Okay, so let's start with just telling everybody about your role in this whole Why My Mom, what that means to you individually. So Ashley, you can go first, and then Amira can follow up.
Well, the Why My Mom journey was personal for me. I was in the process of revamping my business and relaunching some things, and understanding that my journey is a mom. I love everything about being a mom. It's what I've always dreamed to be. And in doing so, I needed to heal the bridge that me and my mom, I didn't realize the tension was still there, or the childhood hurt that I was still dealing with. So that was the reason why I took the journey of Why My Mom.
Nice. How about you?
With my journey, it started, I would say, more so conflicting, because I wasn't sure if that was something that I wanted to go down that road. I just felt like the way our relationship was okay, and that's how I wanted to deal with it. But after a lot of affirmations, confirmations, and God speaking, telling me that it was necessary, that's when I started to say that I needed to take this journey. I needed to write this book. There's other females like me in this world that battle with the day-to-day, minute by minute, second by second of not having their mom there when certain key moments happen where you need a mother. So I know it needed to be done. So that's why I started this journey and finished this journey, and still living this journey, and still healing from this journey.
Absolutely. It's definitely a healing process. We never just get to that place where we've arrived, right? Where it's a constant thing.
No.
I want to talk to, this time of year, right? It's going to happen every year, right? But we know that there's some people who are out there who may have been in places that we were, where they weren't ready to deal with it, where, it is what it is, or, it's not that big of a deal. But yet and still, when it comes to this time of year, it's something inside of them that may get a little sad, where they may not feel like doing much. And of course, we don't want to call it out to be depression or any other, name or label. It is what it is. But we know, right? We've learned that it isn't, right? What can you say to that, to someone who may be in that kind of loop, kind of not ready yet to deal with it, but we know from the experience that we've been through that they need to? What can you say to them?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I would say this Mother's Day coming up, first, I'll start with that I'm excited this year to spend time with my mother. And I'll get into that later on down the line. But before this year, previous years, what I did is, it was heartbreaking because when I woke up for Mother's Day, she wasn't the first person I thought about to send that text to or send that call to or buy a gift for. So what I learned to do is write down what she contributed to me. So even though she wasn't that motherly figure, I figured out there was other things that she installed in me that I didn't realize till I got older. And one thing is, like, we call it the hustle. Like, my mom always know how to go without, regardless. If you read the book, you'll know that my mom struggled with drug abuse. But at the same time, she never was one of those drug addicts that never had any money. So she always was able to get her drugs. So in my aspect, I don't abuse drugs, but I hustle in other ways. When it comes to my book, when it comes to items, when it comes to my management company, when it comes to things that my kids are trying to achieve, when it comes to friendships and things like that. So I started writing down different things that she was able to install in me, which helped me realize, maybe she wasn't the mother makeup that I wanted her to be, but in ways she did provide me with certain attributes that I did need in life, and that was able to help me get through life. So I think if you start there, you have this thing that you could build on. So then when you get to that point where you can have conversations with your mom, you could tell her, what, I didn't respect you doing this, but I respect you for giving me this. I realized that you did play a major part when it came to this. If you never did this, I would have never knew how to do this. So that's how I got through, every Mother's Day.
Good stuff. Oh, that's good.
That is amazing, because that's exactly what happened to me. Mother's Day to me was my day. It just became a day to celebrate me. I was already a mom, so it was like, do I really celebrate her? Not really. It was just became a day about me. It wasn't that really her celebration anymore, really giving her gifts, doing anything. It's like once I became a mom on my own, I didn't celebrate her anymore. It was about what I'm going to do. Up until last year, doing this journey, last year, I took her out for Mother's Day. So I totally understand what you mean because the nurturing love part wasn't there for me. So that was the part I was lacking. So I was doing like all of that for my kids over and over and over and above. So that part that you're lacking, like you said, if you read my part of the book, you'll understand that it's a missing piece that we all had that's different. That's why anybody, if you want to, get the book. So that you see it, because my story, Amir's story is a different story, but it's all together.
Right.
And that's what I loved about it, because everybody's journey is not the same journey. So the journey that I had with missing love, with not having love, I did the total opposite. So it was nothing she really instilled in me. I just didn't want that for my children. So I did more. I did better. So looking at this Mother's Day, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do. We in quarantine. I don't know what to do. I don't have any idea, but I do want to do something to her to honor her. For really being the second year that I've done it since I've been a mom. And I've been a mom for 18 years.
And what's funny, Ashley, that you said that you always celebrated you. I think in the last couple of years, I've started celebrating me, because I always took it as I was competing with not being like she was. So when Mother's Day came, I felt like, you supposed to do this, so why am I celebrating something I'm supposed to do?
Right.
So I battled with that, but then I had to realize that my kids don't know how my mother really was to me. So what they see in me is something that they're proud of. So I need to allow them to celebrate me. So now when Mother's Day come, I get excited. I'm happy to receive, even if it's not gifts, just saying, you know what, Ma, thank you for everything that you've done. Thanks for always trying. So now I'm learning to accept that by knowing that, you're supposed to be what you're supposed to be to your kids, nurturing, be there for them, when times are hard, when times are good, all of that. But we still have to understand that everybody's not built to be a mother.
No.
Bingo. That's it right there. Because there's this false misconception that people say it all the time, oh, that's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. Once that baby come out, you're going to get it. Something inside of you is going to click. That's the biggest lie thing.
The biggest lie from ever. No.
I heard.
That first baby is a guinea pig.
Yeah. Like it's a pet.
Hello? Right. Girl, you be done slept with that child, gave that baby hot dogs at 2 months. You done gave the baby cereal in the hospital.
Exactly.
You just doing everything. Like,
They're alive.
Ain't nobody allowed to watch him. Can't nobody touch him.
Right.
You just
Right.
that
And by the
second
third
one,
baby, you just like, everybody come get him. You
you
can
on your
have
own.
Come get
You on
it.
your own. Figure it out.
Pick it up.
That third baby so independent, it's ridiculous. That second one and up, baby, you on your own. I ain't my second one was walking by 11 months, child. Hey, you got it, girl.
Yeah.
You got it. Okay. Oldest one was sleeping with us up until he was, I don't know how many years old. It was ridiculous. That's probably the worst thing ever. But yeah, I think it's important to talk to that because I think that's something that we can honestly say we've all learned, in our experience with the mothers that we were given, right? The ones that we love and respect now. We can honestly say that we know now that they didn't intend, right? They didn't have like this premeditated, let's ruin her life type of thing.
Right.
Right? Can you talk to that? Because I'm sure you thought that she did. I know I did.
I'll go first on this one. And okay, one of the requirements for the book, we had to go see a therapist. Mm-hmm. And I realized that in therapy, my mother, because my mom's biggest thing was much love. She never said, I love you. Mm-hmm. She never said, I appreciate you. She never said any of those words.
How long without hearing I love you?
I really want to tell you all my life. I never heard my mom say, I love you. She'd be like, yeah, much love. She'll walk out the room and she'll say, much love. Okay. But she never said, I love you.
To this day, she still has not said, I love you.
She said it after she read the book. She video chatted me. She sent me a whole video and she said, I love you.
Oh,
I
wow.
want you to know this day, I love you.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
And I had never told her, like, literally, after she read the book is when she called and told me. She did, I don't even know if she knew what she was doing with the video vlog because it was all choppy and ugly, but
it don't even matter. You heard it.
Right.
It didn't matter.
Girl, I wish you could have recorded that.
My children were like, Mommy, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. And I just sat there and I cried and I just
held. You heard her voice. It didn't matter if you saw her, as long as you heard that.
Oh my God.
That was amazing.
Yes.
I'm trying not to cry for you.
She sent me that and she said, but other than that, my mom had never. But then I realized my grandmother doesn't say it either. My grandmother doesn't say I love you. She doesn't say, I care about you. They don't say those words. Right. So I realized it was something
they show you.
They show it.
But they didn't know it was important to tell you that.
To tell me. So those words, my family, I realized the way it was like your grandma showed you love, but your mom didn't show you love. So it's like kind of how the generational thing was happening. So my great grandmother would tell my mom that she loved her, but my mom never heard it from her mom. So it was just repeating itself until me. Until me.
Yes.
I said, yeah, my children know that I love them. And I tell my kids that I love them, whether it be just spare the moment, I love you. So that they hear it and they know it, because I know how important it was to me. Yeah. So I try my best to give it. But that was a big thing that I realized that she just didn't know. She didn't know. She didn't know that was important. Once I realized that, I couldn't falter for it and I had to forgive her.
So good. So good. How about you, Amira? How was that for you, just finally kind of connecting that it wasn't premeditated for her to just have the desire to use drugs and not be there for you, but that she did have some underlying issues?
So I think that when I was younger, being that she started when I was so young, I was already used to her being the person she was. But when I got older and I was able to think through my thoughts, then I think that's where the hatred came in more, because when I had my own kids, it used to make me compare situations and be like, well, this happened to me. Why didn't I go out and do drugs? But then when I dug deeper, and like Ashley was stating, when you start getting into your parents and situations they went through, then I realized that some of this stuff that happened to her has something to do with the mental. So being that I may have went through the same thing she went through, I realized that my mental is stronger than hers. So while I cannot reflect to go to drugs because of a situation that happened to me, she didn't have that strength. She didn't have the support that I have. She didn't have people to call on, to speak to when she was going through situations. So that's the only outlet she had. So that's what made me get through the part of knowing that it was intended. And now when I have conversations with her now and we're able to be extremely real with each other, she's like, it's many times that I was out there in the streets and I thought about y'all, but I knew that I couldn't face y'all because I wasn't strong enough to be the person y'all wanted me to be. So now I understand. And sometimes I get mad with myself for not understanding, but now I know you have to be able to communicate and understand to be able to get through situations like this.
Yeah. Have those hard conversations.
Right.
Yeah. Have those hard conversations because it will be life-changing. It will be life-changing. Forgiveness is huge. You hear people say it all the time. You hear people say, you know, forgiving them is about you more than it is about them. You know, you hear people say holding on to stuff is just like, you know, swallowing poison and thinking the other person gonna get injured. You know, we hear all this stuff around forgiveness and how important it is, but it does take a big person to do that. It does take you to do some work to really get to an understanding of what that really looks like and what that really is. Because I know for so long, I thought that it meant if I forgave her that I accepted her behavior and made her think she was right or that she won, really. I didn't want her to feel like she won, and I couldn't. And once I finally understood that that didn't mean that, I was able to make the decision to do that. How did you all come to grips and finally get to that point where you were able to forgive and release? Like practically, how were you able to do that?
I think with me and my mom, it was, you, like you said, people say forgiveness is for you, but I feel like it's for both parties. And the reason why I say that is because when me and my mom had that initial conversation when we were getting ready to film for the documentary, and I had to tell her, like, the questions that you're gonna be asked are not questions you're gonna expect. So if you feel like you're gonna cry in this, we went through the whole conversation, and I said, before we do this, I knew that there would be a point where I needed to forgive what you put me through as a child. Yeah. But the reason why I feel like I need to forgive you is not only because it's a burden on my life, but I know you carry a burden every day too, because you feel like you can never uphold to the mother that you should have been. But I said, I'm forgiving you so we can move forward. It's no longer us putting stipulations on what you should be. I want you to be what you only can be. Yeah. So if you only feel like you're okay with calling me twice a week to check on me, I know that that's the expectations that we're going to set for each other. So I think that's where it comes. Forgiveness is for both parties. Because even if I feel like forgiveness is for myself, I think about it like, okay, I'm getting rid of this burden, but what did I do for the other person that helped, you know, with the stuff that I went through as a child? Like, that's not fair to me to be selfish. I feel like it's selfish. I feel like it should be for both parties. Like, while I'm forgiving you, you forgiving me as well, because why you did this to me, it caused me to hate you. And at the same time, you can't forgive me for hating you because you don't understand what you put me through.
Yeah. Wow. You better speak here, Reverend Doctor. Okay. Yes, sir. All right. I'm trying to yell in this daggone thing. That was good.
I'm just telling you this why my mom, but people don't understand. Like, I tell people all the time, it's deeper than writing a book. It opened up so many different avenues with me and my mother. And that's what I said. This smile on my face is real because this is the first Mother's Day I felt like I'm really celebrating my mom. And I'm 35 years old. I never felt this way. Yeah, I've always made stuff in school when I was younger because you were forced to make stuff, even if you didn't have a mother. Like, I'm making stuff for my mom, but I had no mother to give it to. So 35 years old, this is the first time I really can say that I'm excited to celebrate my mother. And I don't even think about her being the drug addict, abandoning me, not feeding me at times, not giving me hugs, not saying I love you. That's not even crossing my mind, not one bit.
Right. Wow. Oh, that's what it looked like when you do the work, folks. I love it.
I tell you, it's the relief. It's really, oh my God, that just blessed me. What we need to say after that one?
Nothing. I'm here for it, child. At this point, I just want y'all to tell the folks how to connect with you. Let them know your businesses, what y'all are doing with your life, how you turn this pain into your purpose, what that looks like. Give them the info so they can book you to do stuff, and then give them, you know, your website or links and how they can get the books individually from you guys.
Go, Amira.
Y'all want me to go again?
You might as well.
I'm trying to not cry. Y'all talk about go again. It ain't even cry of sorrow. It's just cry.
Give all your information, baby. Give all your info.
I do want to share something real quick, Q, that I wanted to share. Is that, so, you know, you need to read the book, but the whole story is how my mom was abusing drugs. But when my mom first, when she got out of rehab the second time and we finally moved in with her, we started giving her angels because she used to always talk about angels. Mm-hmm. So during this process, I've always wanted to ask her, like, where these angels was, because when I have two siblings, a brother and a sister, and between all of us, we probably gave her like over the time period, probably like 50 angels. And my mom never was stable. So everything she had always traveled with her. So we thought that they were just gone. Mm-hmm. So last month, she called me and was like, I just want to tell you, I just moved into my own place. I finally got my own place. So I was like excited because this is finally something that's her own. Yeah. Not with a man, not with a friend, not with a roommate. It's like her, Brenda Bethea, is on the lease. So I'm like, I need to come over there. You know, this COVID-19, but we got to come over there. So she was like, you know what? Don't rush because I know you don't want the kids to be out. I'm going to send you pictures. When I tell you, I almost cried because one of the pictures she showed me was one of her silhouettes she had, and it had every single angel. We got her. Wow. So when I tell you I'm excited because I ordered her this angel that had a scripture up there about strength. And I just can't wait to give it to her on Sunday just so she can know, like, I'm proud of you. Like, even though you went through all of this, you was able to save something that you knew meant a lot to your kids. So, yeah. Okay, I'm off my soapbox.
Yes!
That was it.
I had to
I'm here for it. So I'm listening, child. I can't wait, honey, for old Dorothea Ellis to come on home, child, because you know we're going to have to connect them. Honey, because I need her to stay clean and on the straight and narrow, okay? Right. Because even though you be away for years, when you come back, all that stuff waiting on you, and I need her to be around the right people and some real people. Like, for real. It's real. Right. It's real. Wow.
And it takes time, too. Like, it took my mom 2 times, you know, to do it.
Yeah.
But, okay, y'all.
I love it.
So, y'all can follow me on Facebook, Amira Bethea. That's AMIRABETHEA. Same for Facebook. Amira Michelle is my author page. If you want to, you know, get a copy of the book, you can contact me on that page. My email is amira.bethea@gmail.com as well. What I'm doing right now is exactly what Q said. She like maybe a third-time author. So my first book was strictly about my dad. This book was strictly about my mom. So I know everything is intentional. So now it's this next book is about me, solely me. I'm the only author in this book. So I know God made this journey so people can understand the makeup of me. So I am currently working on that. I don't have a release date because I'm taking my time with this one because I know that this is going to be, you know, the outcome of those 2 books. So that's it. And I'm being a mother. I'm trying to be the best mother I could be. I know that sounds cliche, but it's the truth. When you have the odds against you, you have to work out so you could be the best. So that's it, y'all.
Yes.
That's it.
And are you taking management clients?
Right now, I'm not because I'm being selfish and I'm focusing on me. I still have the same people that I have, like you may know, like Dr. Jacqueline Walker and, you know, some other people. But right now, I'm focusing on me. I feel like this journey right now is my journey. So I'm not. But I do have my own management company. I assist where I can assist. You know, out in the community. I don't know.
I love it. Yes. All right. Well, y'all got it. You heard it first now. Contact her. Yes. And hit her up. I love it. Ashley, talk to the folks. Miss from IEP to the new me.
Yes.
We ain't even touched on y'all. We ain't even touched on her IEP yet. But that you got to get the book. Okay. You got the book to talk about that. Because I can't give you everything. But the chick had an IEP. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. And that's a whole another episode by herself.
Right, Ashley did her own episode, Q.
Hello, Lord God, all we went through to make this happen. My God, we probably should have just went with it. Jesus,
that would yes. But no,
don't do my sister like that, Ashley. You got it.
It's all good.
Nevertheless, we are here.
Hello, and it's been outstanding.
By the grace of God,
all here.
And it's outstanding. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. But I am excited. I'm like Amira right now. I'm focusing on me. when it comes to saying focusing on me, I'm really trying to make sure my house is in order for this next launch that God is putting me into.
That's it.
So making sure that everybody, so you can look at me right now. I'm Miss 4'11" on Facebook. I'm Miss 4'11" on Instagram.
He's 4'11" in real life. Just so y'all know. Okay.
She really is.
In real life.
Don't make her stand up from this camera. She's really
really little, like really.
Hit that right on the nose.
I'm Miss 4'11" space mom on YouTube.
Nice.
And that's my platforms. My email address is miss4'11 at gmail.
They not gonna forget that.
They
Miss
not.
4'11" MS the number 4
MS4FT11. You can't
So
miss
just in
that.
case y'all don't remember my information, y'all can hit Ashley up and get 2 copies and just tell them that you're purchasing one on my account too.
Yeah.
Okay. I just remember 4'11".
That's it.
I'm sorry.
Right.
And I will redirect you to her.
Okay, just send the cash out. Praise God. Okay.
No.
Hallelujah.
You went that one. Okay, that's fine. Just buy 2, and I'll make sure she can get
Exactly. Buy 2.
I love y'all.
Buy 2.
Okay.
Hello.
But yes, and I'm learning that not like she said, not everybody is a mom. It doesn't come naturally to everybody. It's not an instant that just pops on and it's a green light. But me, I have that green light, and I love it. I love everything about it. The nurturing part of it, the excitement of it, the stress of it, everything about being a mom is one thing that I truly, truly love. The packing lunches, the detailed stuff, all that
She love
stuff
that mess.
people.
She love that mess, y'all.
Like really, I really
cut
do
the
love
sandwiches with the triangles and the stars and the hearts.
Q, we don't got time for that.
We over here with a baby. You gonna get these 2. You lucky these piece of bread is fresh, first of all, and now you give you 2 ends. Now
exactly.
take this little sandwich.
Making my own.
Matter of fact, take this $1 and just buy the school lunch. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna roll this turkey meat like Lumpia.
Hello, because we out of bread. You on the Atkins for lunch today. You was on low carb today. You better take this meat and cheese and get out of here.
And I love to do it all on the budget. So that's me. And I do it all on the budget. I'm very budget conscious. So that's what I'm giving to the world. But I wouldn't have been able to do all that without healing from the pain of my own mom.
Yes, Ashley.
I wouldn't have been able to do it. I'd have been still being like, oh, well, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. But some things I am. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and we're going to magnify and monetize that. Hello.
But you can tell who's went through the healing process because people don't understand the journey we took to get to this point.
Yeah.
So you could just, me looking at you, I could tell the difference from the Ashley I met in the beginning. Like, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I say that for all of us. Yeah. You can really tell and we got some that I can honestly be true and transparent and say some really didn't go through the full process.
Right.
They're still in it. And that's okay.
And they're still walking it through.
And that's all right.
I think I just took it. A lot of us took it a whole lot seriously in the beginning. Like we went in this thing wholeheartedly. Look, you gonna have to, search me now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look, clean me up now because I got more to do. And that's exactly how I fix it because I don't got time to keep wasting time. I'd have done that, been there. And I'm so glad for this journey. I really appreciate the journey. Without it, I wouldn't be free or take heed to a lot of the things that come naturally. Like without Q saying, okay, girl, you just do it. It's just in you to be a mom. Okay. Yeah. I
let me tell you something. I go Christmas shopping Christmas Eve. Apparently that ain't how everybody else shop. Apparently that's not, the way the world do. Ashley get done her stuff by summertime. I don't know what drug she on, but she gonna sell us some of it whenever she get off from being selfish and get the budget and all this stuff together. She gonna help us out. That spring break be playing last year. She just got it. It's so natural to her. I love it. I love it.
And it just alleviates more stress. And I'm realizing our moms, that's the biggest problem we all have. We're stressing because we're doing this and we're doing that. And we're not, if you can still be busy because I'm still extremely busy. It's just doing it in a way that it ain't got you sitting here about to kill everybody and knocking everybody out so that we're not a replica of our moms of the past.
Yeah.
My mom was everywhere. She always worked 2 jobs. She never really had that time to sit down with me to even tell me she loved me. So she was always working. So she was always busy. And making that time, that's the biggest thing is as moms, as I'm learning, we don't have that time. We forget about us. That's why I said Mother's Day for the past 18 years, it was about me. I literally went somewhere without my kids. That's how I did it. I didn't want to be bothered with nobody.
I'm about to cry, Ashley.
It was about me.
You didn't let them kids.
No, when I say no, because I wanted to make that clear as well.
Please clarify, because I thought you meant.
No. That's why
I totally did too, Kim.
Right,
but now the truth is coming out.
Yeah, I wanted to make it clear because I realized y'all had thought that. No, when I said that Mother's Day was about me, it was.
She said she left the country.
She left everybody.
It was
she
about
left
me.
husband and kids, and has spent the whole 24 hours doing
by herself.
Okay. But this year, what you gonna do?
Last year was the first year that I embraced everybody during this journey.
Well, praise God.
Look at you.
Yes, last year was the first year.
Okay,
I took my mom out to dinner. My kids were there. They bought my dinner. It was.
They scared this year, Ashley. They don't know what's gonna happen.
What to do?
Woo,
You gonna get on Sunday, ain't gonna have Jack. They like, well, we thought you was leaving.
Exactly. We thought you was I was shocked. They won't let me go to the mailbox right now because they got something coming. I was like, oh, but yeah. Other than that, no.
Let them do it.
But that's why I tell you the journey. The journey.
That's powerful.
No, I sure didn't. It was my time. I'd been a mama 365, 364. Wow. This one's mine.
She took the one day off. Okay.
I took the whole day off.
God. We ain't gonna be mad at you,
breakfast. I don't need that. I don't need none of that stuff.
We'll have another episode talking about that kind of Mother's Day. I don't know what kind of Mother's Day that was. But praise God, you've been delivered.
But yeah, that's
all right. So y'all email her, contact her, and hit them up on social media. Thank you, ladies, for your time. This was really, really fun and therapeutic. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for the invite.
Of course. So y'all make sure y'all hit them up. They are really doing some amazing things. And when they get off of this selfish journey, which I think everybody needs to take at some point in your life, I think that you will be impressed with some of the other things that they participate in as well, along with everything else that you've already heard from them. So, my goodness, that's it. So catch me on part 3. There is another part to this. We're going to bring you something every week during this whole month of May to cover you, protect you, and help you heal throughout this month, and to give you some type of hope to know that you are not alone and we are here with you. So, as I always say, make sure that you are intentional with your family. I need you to make sure you are TKO in mediocrity, that mediocre thinking, living, and being. We are no longer existing. It is time for us to start living. And guess what? We're going to start winning at this thing called life. Until next week, I'll see you guys then. Bye.